The following is a paid...
The following is a paid program. Talk 103.7 WTIP and Cable Channel 7 welcome you into Financially Speaking with Jim Taunton. Find us live on radio, TV, the IPX Media app, and on YouTube. Just search Financially Speaking NC or get the link at WTIPFM.com. The opinions expressed in this show are for general informational purposes only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine what investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, financial, or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities and investment advisory services are offered through Genois Wealth Management Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Now, here's your host for Financially Speaking, certified financial advisor, Jim Taunton.
Welcome to Financially Speaking. Jim Taunton here, your host for the next 30 minutes. So glad you joined us. And I hope you'll be glad as well when it's all done. And I say that to our radio audience on 103.7 WTIB, and also those watching on YouTube and Facebook. We simulcast the radio program on those media. So you can always watch that on YouTube. Actually, they archive all the shows. So you can go to our YouTube channel and watch any program way back for years. If I don't know why you would want to do that, but you can. But yeah, so go to the YouTube channel and it's Financially Speaking NC. So at Financially Speaking NC, middle of the page, click on live, and it'll list. That page will list all the programs. You'll see them. You can click on it. And if you click on the live or the, not the like button, but join button, is that what it is? In any case, you'll see it. And you can get notifications each week when we go on air. I do have some good information for you, but as always, I would much rather talk to you about something you feel is important to you and pertinent to your personal situation. I had a great caller last time. And you can see that Jameson, by the way, is missing. His son is playing some travel baseball. Jameson's helping coach, and they just happened to practice on Thursday evenings, such that he couldn't make the program. So we're back to where we've always been, me. So give us a call. I'd love to take a call from someone. Ask me a financially related question, and your name goes into the drawing for the dinner for two at Atavola. I'll even pay the tip. Great place to eat. And the number to call is area 252-561-TALK, 561-8255, 561-8255. We're going to go to a 2-minute break. So call during that break, and we'll take your call first when we come back.
Country Club invites you to become a member. Come tour our beautiful clubhouse, ballroom, and facilities. For a quality golf experience, sign up for our discounted special membership rates, low monthly dues with no quarterly food minimum or assessments. Folks love to play golf at Ayton Golf and Country Club. Cool off at the pool all summer. Enjoy excellent food and beverages from the snack bar. Even store your own cart, unless you like to walk. Call 746-3389 for special limited membership rates at the Ayton Golf and Country Club.
My practice has been built on accessibility, responsiveness, and a willingness to be proactive for my clients. I'm not afraid to make recommendations relating to your investments and planning. I do hope all of your financial decisions are good ones, but let's not rely on hope. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Jim has attained 3 professional designations: Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Life Underwriter, and Chartered Financial Consultant. which entails 20 courses of study with examinations and a comprehensive national board exam, administered by the Certified Financial Planning Board. Jim has been practicing in financial services since 1979, which includes investing, planning, and insurance to help you meet your financial goals. Among the many awards Jim has received in his career is his selection to the Guide of the Top Financial Planners by the Consumer Research Council of America. So if you want to work with someone who is working for you, call Jim at 756-4700 or email him at planning@financiallyspeaking.com. That's 756-4700 and planning@financiallyspeaking.com.
Welcome back to Financially Speaking. Let me take a quick look. Nope. Mr. Producer, who happens to be Mr. Dom tonight, did not send me a text. That means we don't have a caller. Sad state of affairs. I'd much rather talk to you. Please interrupt the monologue at any point in time. I'd love to take a call and try to answer a question. And again, the number is 561-TALK, 561-8255, 561-8255. Until then, megatech valuations are just unbelievably good right now. Louis Navier was one of the people that I listened to a lot. We communicate quite a bit. He's going to be on this program actually in August. You'll need to listen to that one. He is one of the best in the business at managing money and determining markets, where to put money and what have you. And he released a little video, a 5 or 6 minute video this week, and he's just extremely bullish right now. I mean, the lower the valuations, the more bullish he gets. He was predicting NVIDIA would be at 300 by the end of the year, and it was at 230 at one point. Now it's down to about just below 200. It went up about $5 today. But the market's just really volatile right now, and there's no good reason for people to sell good American companies because of some news. There's just no reason for it. The fundamentals of our economy and the fundamentals of corporations right now are extremely good. In my humble opinion, right now is a great buying opportunity for the most part. Could be some exceptions, of course. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, and I'm certainly not, don't have the resources that a Louis Navier does. But I believe it's, in general, a great buying opportunity right now to buy some really nice stocks, especially in the megatech area. Micron, NVIDIA, TMC. Okay. Producer says we have a caller, which is a wonderful thing. I believe his name was Robert. Robert, you're on the air. Go right ahead with your question.
I've got a question about the Fed meeting recently, and this, I guess, is a broad question. Why did they leave the rate the same? All I hear about is no one can afford to live. And so I guess I'm a bit confused by that. In other words, it sounds to me as though nobody can afford to live, but the economy is strong enough that they seek to maintain where we are. I was just curious about your opinion on that.
Well, when you're hearing no one can afford to live, where are you hearing that from? Are you there, Robert?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So what is your source of information when you say all you're hearing is people cannot afford to live? What is your source of information?
Well, that's on the news mostly, and I watch all kinds of news, not just right, left, or in the middle. So I kind of got a good base source. But affordability is the biggest topic, right, coming into the midterms, and
Right.
so it's kind of the hot topic.
Yeah, and inflation actually has been moderating recently. It was lower than expected on this last reading, but I think maintaining rates this last meeting was the correct thing to do. I don't think they should have reduced rates. I don't think they should have increased rates. I don't think we're at a point right now where the Fed needs to tip the economy one way or the other. To tell you the truth, prices went up drastically 2 or 3 years ago, and inflation has come way down since then. I mean, it was up there close to double digit inflation for just a short while, and we are well below that right now. And
Yeah,
and
I think that's
so
the misunderstanding is we're not ever going to get that back, right? So
no,
I guess
you're not going to have, if you have prices going down, that is deflation, and that is what economists will tell you to avoid like the plague.
right.
You never want deflation. So unfortunately, we're not no, fuel is a different story, but we're talking about at large commodities and product and what have you. We
Yeah,
don't want prices
absolutely.
going down. Yeah.
I got you. And I guess it's a little bit of obviously everybody's got bias, but we've been kind of holding out to do a refi on the house and, do some 25, 30-year maintenance things. And I don't know. I feel like we're just going to hold our breath for the rates to probably maintain themselves for quite a while. What
Yeah.
are your thoughts on the interest rates?
Well, I agree. It's a tough market right now to be doing any building or purchasing of new house or refinancing for that matter. If you're talking about a new home, I would suggest that you go with a variable rate mortgage, and that way you've
Yeah.
got a lower rate now, and then it stays about the same for 3 years, and then after 3 years, hopefully rates have come down by that point. Rates
Yeah.
will come down. I don't think there's any question about that. It's just a matter of timing. And of course, part of that is the conflict in Iran. When that's over and oil starts flowing like it has been and fuel prices go back to a reasonable level, a lot of things are going to come down, including mortgage
Gotcha.
rates.
Gotcha. If you were in a position that I think quite a bit of equity in the home, would you, if you're going through the trouble to refinance, would you max out the value that you could pull out of that home, or would you kind of only get what you need? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's a good question. It depends on if you have a good purpose, for the money. Or would you use it to buy a rental property, or what would you do with the cash out?
Well, for the most part, again, it's a bit of an older home, and so there are some just necessity things that would probably, if I had to high end 50,000, low end 35,000. So there's already a pretty decent expense going out, and I couldn't tell you we're kind of at the middle of our lives, I guess, careers, and there's always something that's going to come up. You feel like that you need some money for, but it just seems like that's the cheapest source
Right.
of readily available income. I guess if you don't use the equity, if it's like a draw line or something, it's just sitting
Right.
there.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I recommend to almost every client to get an equity line established. If you have significant equity in your home, go ahead and get an equity line opened. Costs very little to do that, if any. Depends on your relationship with the bank. And you're not paying any interest on any money unless you use it. If you write a check on the equity line, you'll just pay interest on the money you've utilized. But if you don't use it, you're not paying anything for it. It just sits there neutral, and it's always available if you need it. And that's as good as going ahead and cashing out, when you refinance. In my opinion, it's still there and it's available to you. So that's what I would do in lieu of cashing out of the property.
Well, that's excellent advice. So, and then this leads into, I guess, my final question. I don't want to tie up your whole show
Okay.
here.
Please
but
do.
As far as safety goes, regarding down the road, we're planning now for the future and life insurance, and again, reading and not a specific source, but just a general principle. Some of the articles I've read basically say, hey, don't worry about leaving your kids assets, that type of thing. Leave them the insurance, the life insurance proceeds, and basically just utilize your assets and don't get as hung up. In other words, having a paid off home to leave your child, you're better off to leave them a decent life insurance you pay out and use the house for what we just discussed. Basically have that as maybe an equity line, have the mortgage paid off,
Right.
but have that equity line so if you ever needed life happens and it seems like what used to cost $2,000 now might be a $10,000 setback.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I am a financial planner that believes most people outlive their need for life insurance at some point. So I don't know that ultimately life insurance will be the source of inheritance for your children. I think as time goes, when you're early in life, you don't have any assets, you buy a lot of life insurance to create an estate. So if something happens to you, you can replace a portion of your income to your surviving spouse. And then as your assets grow, your need for life insurance goes down because your assets become your life insurance. And at some point, you don't want to be paying a premium for something you don't need. So if your children are going to receive more than likely more than what they work for anyway. So when I sit down with a client, my first objective is to take care of them and their needs, their financial needs, their retirement. And if I don't hear anything otherwise, that's what I do. I make the planning center around that. If they tell me that one of their main objectives in life is to leave their children a lot of money, then we will change, what we're doing. We'll structure it differently. So that's a decision that you have to make. It's personal. And you can certainly decide that one of your important objectives financially is to leave your children either some or a lot or a specific amount, of inheritance, and we would work toward that. But I don't think ultimately the life insurance is probably going to be the source for that. So you own life insurance now, is that right?
Yes, sir. And we're again at the stage where we're my wife and I are getting ready to turn 50, so things are affordable. We've contemplated switching from some of the term we have to whole life. Just more of an investment, I guess, more value there.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
So
that.
we're right in the middle of that. You would not do that, okay?
No, I wouldn't do that. You might want to re-up on another term that takes it further into the future. It's if you bought a 20-year level term 18 years ago and it's going to run out in 2 years, then you might want to apply right now for coverage that'll go another 25 or 30 years if that's what you want to do. If you feel like you have a need to have a life insurance benefit that would go, directly to your children, so you could spend down all of your assets and still leave them an inheritance. That certainly is a purpose and a use for life insurance. But I would love to have a conversation with you, and the first meeting with me is no cost or obligation whatsoever, so that I can give you some good direction. On the air here on the radio, it's just difficult to talk about the details that need to be talked about for me to make good, hard and fast recommendations to you about the direction you need to go.
That's fair enough.
Having said
these
that,
were some broad questions, so I appreciate the insight.
Well, no, they're great questions, and they need to be answered. And Robert, what I'm going to do is give out my contact information, and it's for you and anybody else listening that might need someone to counsel with. And my phone number at the office, of course, area 252. Where do you live, Robert? Where are you calling from?
I'm in Bethel.
In Bethel, great. Bethel, the beginning. So my number is 756-4700. And of course, area 252, 756-4700. My email is jim@jtauntonfinancial.com. Of course, my last name is Taunton. Jim@jtauntonfinancial.com. My website is jtauntonfinancial.com. You can get on there and also use an inquiry page on that to contact me. But anyway, and I can communicate with you by email for that matter. If you just don't want to see me, that's perfectly fine. But there are some details I would need to know, and we would need to talk about that you probably don't want to divulge on the air, even though your name has not been divulged to the public either. So
Excellent.
I appreciate your calling.
Appreciate
You great questions, really. Love to chat with you.
Very good. Thank you for having me.
Take care. And your name is in the drawing for the dinner for two at Altavola, by the way, assuming you gave your number to the producer.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Yeah. Take care.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Robert. I ought to pay Robert for that question. It's just good stuff. See, that's what I love doing. I mean, I handle our office, including our office in Little Washington, the original Washington. We handle $300 million plus for clients. And again, I tell people in New York or Dallas or, LA, that'd be small potatoes. But in Eastern North Carolina, that's a fairly large book of business. So I handle a lot of money, and I love handling money for people. I love investing money for people and building a portfolio and creating income for them in retirement, what have you. All that, I enjoy all that. But what really gets my juices flowing is financial planning. I love helping people achieve their objectives and their goals. I love seeing the light come on, after we've done a plan and they're not nearly as bad off as they thought they were. They've done a better job than they thought they had. And that's great. Love that. All right, 6:22. I'll tell you what, Mr. Producer, let's go ahead and go to a 2-minute break real quick and come back. And, if you want to call during this break. We'll take your call first when we come back. It's 561-8255. We'll see you in 2 minutes.
Ayden Golf and Country Club invites you to become a member. Come tour our beautiful clubhouse, ballroom, and facilities. For a quality golf experience, sign up for our discounted special membership rates, low monthly dues with no quarterly food minimum or assessments. Folks love to play golf at Ayden Golf and Country Club. Cool off at the pool all summer. Enjoy excellent food and beverages from the snack bar. Even store your own cart, unless you like to walk. Call 746-3389 for special limited membership rates at the Ayden Golf and Country Club.
My practice has been built on accessibility, responsiveness, and a willingness to be proactive for my clients. I'm not afraid to make recommendations relating to your investments and planning. I do hope all of your financial decisions are good ones, but let's not rely on hope. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.
Jim has attained 3 professional designations: Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Life Underwriter, and Chartered Financial Consultant, which entails 20 courses of study with examinations and a comprehensive national board exam, administered by the Certified Financial Planning Board. Jim has been practicing in financial services since 1979, which includes investing, planning, and insurance to help you meet your financial goals. Among the many awards Jim has received in his career is his selection to the Guide of the Top Financial Planners by the Consumer Research Council of America. So if you want to work with someone who is working for you, call Jim at 756-4700 or email him at planning@financiallyspeaking.com. That's 756-4700 and planning@financiallyspeaking.com.
Welcome back to Financially Speaking. We have John Connor on the line. John, go right here with your question.
Hey, Mr. Talton. Thanks for taking my call. I was going to
Yes,
ask
sir.
you, traditionally, the IRAs and the retirements have been traditionally, on par, 60-40, 40 being in bonds, 60 in equities. Well, Morgan Stanley started this stuff about a year or so ago about it needed to be 20% bonds, 20% gold, and 60% equities. And I was wondering what you thought about gold, because to me, it's not owned, it's just paper, right? And
Yeah.
I'm wondering, what do
Yeah.
you think about that?
I'm with you. I used gold 20 years ago or so, a little bit in portfolios, and really fell out of favor with it. It's a commodity that pays no dividends. It's a metal. It doesn't create product. It doesn't hire people. It doesn't do anything. It just sits there.
Right.
That's why it's so volatile. So,
Right.
and these rules of thumb, portfolios like Morgan Stanley was talking about don't apply to anybody. I mean, we create portfolios individually for a client based on their objectives, their aversion to risk, the type of income they want, the type of growth they'd like to have, that kind of thing. So I'm with you. I wouldn't listen to it.
And what do you, and just for real fast, how about crypto and blockchain, where they're trying to sell you a portfolio that consists of blockchain that's eventually going to be tokenized, and they're starting to use it?
Yeah.
How about that?
I have not bought any cryptocurrency. I have not put any clients in cryptocurrency. There is an ETF that we can utilize that actually owns cryptocurrency, and that's what I would use if I were going to delve into cryptocurrency for a client. And the reason is, John, I don't understand cryptocurrency. I've tried. I've read. I've tried to really wrap my mind around it. And if I don't understand it really well, so that the fog lifts and the light bulb comes on, I don't want to put my money in it. I understand a company. I understand a corporation, that builds products and has earnings and pays dividends and hires people. And all. I understand that really well. And I believe I can get my clients where they need to be without delving into something like cryptocurrency, which is nothing more than a fiat currency that's created out of thin air. I don't like it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
All right. Thanks for calling. Where'd you call from, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Where did you call from?
Winterville, North Carolina.
Winterville. I could probably throw a rock and hit you.
Probably could.
I do this program from home, and I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said you probably want to on some days if you need me. Throw a rock at me.
That's good. I bet your wife does.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I do this program from my home, John, and my home actually has a Winterville address. Although I'm on the Greenville side of Fire Tower Road.
Right.
I have a Winterville zip code, which is squirrely. I don't know how that happens, but anyway,
Yes,
I so appreciate your calling. Really do.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Take care, and I hope you win the dinner for two at Ottawa.
Oh, I just like listening to you. I don't catch you all the time, but I'm talk to you
Well, thank
today.
you. Thank you very much. My wife doesn't like listening to me, but I'm glad you do.
Right.
Take care, man.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye. All right. I don't have time to start what I was going to start. It was really going to be based on an article on Barron's, the 100 best annuities, how to avoid common mistakes and pick the right one. But good article from Barron's. I'll use that as my basis next week, and along with some other information. There's a lot of misinformation out there, disinformation as well about annuities. There are advisors that all they do is bad annuities, and then you got other advisors that say all annuities are terrible. Well, neither are right. Neither are correct. And I'm going to tell you the truth about it next week, assuming we can get to it. But as always, this is Jim Taunton helping you make all of your financial decisions good ones. Good night, everybody.